Here I go. This is Red Planet once again talking about this vaccination that supposedly Bill Gates is trying to promote and rush. You know, it's amazing when people have money, billions and billions of dollars, what they're capable of doing. To me, I seem to think that they are very dangerous people because it's all about money, power, and control. And when you let the enemy have power and control over the world and over you, that it could turn out to be a very dangerous thing, but we're going to put our faith in the Most High God of Israel only. Let's get it, Israel.
A US-based biotech company says it has started a phase 1 coronavirus vaccine trial with financial support from a group backed by Bill Gates. The trial is taking place in Australia, involving about 130 people aged between 18 and 59. If it's successful, the Maryland-based company will follow up with more trials in more countries. Meanwhile, Dow futures jumped more than 200 points on Monday on hopes of a coronavirus vaccine.
Now here we got Russia saying that they already have a vaccine ready and that he used it on his own daughter. See what a person
There's a lot
would
of
do.
talk about a Wuhan virus vaccine. Russia claims to have created the world's first vaccine. It's called Sputnik 5. Makes for great headlines, but is it a vaccine?
Anytime you use a vaccine on your own kids, on your own daughter, you desperate to get it out. How you going, Israel, how we going to take a vaccine when you don't even know what's in it? You don't know reactions that it's going to cause, what it's going to cause to your body, you know, what effects it's going to have, because everything you take have side effects. Think about it, Israel. Do we really want Putin and Bill Gates vaccine inside of us? I mean, I understand we all can't get to the desert like the Most High God of Israel told us to do. So we have to all get together and work together and come as one and stop hating each other. So we can come as a community, as a nation, and fight against these devils who's trying to promote this vaccine, because we don't know what's in it, one, and then we don't know what reaction it's going to have on our body, Israel. We just don't know. So to this, let's hear this monster speak.
Or a stunt? A lot of you have written to us with questions. Is it an effective vaccine? Who has certified it? Who will get it? How much will it cost? And when can one access the vaccine? Tonight we'll try to answer all the questions that you've posed to us. First of all, what has Russia claimed? Russia says it has developed the world's first Wuhan virus vaccine. Russia also says that Sputnik 5 has been given...
He wants to say and claim all the glory. All the glory. Look at his face. He wants to claim all the glory that he started that, and so confident that this vaccine is going to work and turn you into zombies or freakazoid your mind out to a point where you take your whole family out, because we really don't know what's in it, Israel. Supposedly they're saying the chip is supposed to be in it, but do we really actually know? The only way we're going to know, Israel, if we take the vaccine. And think about it. If you already have illness of your own, what do you think this is going to do once you take it? Something to think about, Israel. Because trust and believe me, they're not taking it, but they want to give it to us. But you know, you spend billions of dollars on a vaccine for us, Israel, but you can't feed these people that's hungry and that are lost their houses, that's in the streets homeless. See the madness in it, Israel? Let's continue.
Regulatory approval. What does that mean? It means the vaccine has been cleared for mass use in Russia. It has got the approval by regulators to be given to the Russian population. Russia's President Vladimir Putin described this as a quote-unquote very important step for the world.
Зарегистрировано впервые в мире.
In this respect, I would like to ask Health Minister Mikhail Albertovich Murashko to explain us in more detail. Although I know it works fairly effectively, forms stable immunity, and I repeat, it has gone through all the necessary checks.
Формирует иммунитет устойчивый.
How does this vaccine work?
Now, Israel, you hear that? Can we really go by what a madman is going to say? Can we really put our faith in him to actually take his vaccine? I know them people in Russia is not lining up at the door to rush to take his vaccine. But then again, some might be, Israel. We don't know. But just hear the madness in the madman speak. He's so confident that this vaccine is going to work, that you're willing to risk your daughter's life to give it to her, to say, oh, it's fine, she's doing well, she's doing good. Even if she wasn't doing good, you're not going to tell us, because if she was doing bad, we wouldn't take it, Israel. Let's continue.
How does it immunize the body to the Wuhan virus? President Putin was quite the expert today. He had answers to all these questions. He also said that one of his daughters had been given a shot of this vaccine.
Повторяю, прошла все необходимые.
It has a more specific effect. It forms stable antibody and cell-mediated immune response. I also know it well because one of my daughters was subjected to this vaccine. I think it means she took part in the experiment. After the first injection of the vaccine, her temperature was 38 degrees. The following day, it was a bit over 37, and that's it. After the second injection, the temperature also rose a little, but then it returned to normal. She feels well and the stats are great.
Все сошло потом на нет. Чувствует себя хорошо и титры высокие.
Like I said, Israel, you're willing to give it to your own daughter. Feel so confident that this vaccination for COVID-19 is going to work. You're never going to tell us, Israel, they're never going to tell us the side effects it's having on his daughter. Because everything has side effects. I don't care what it is. If you give an ant some vaccination or some pills, everything has side effects. So don't you think, Israel, that this is going to have side effects and cause problems? Don't you think it's going to freakazoid your mind out? Don't you think, Israel, that it's going to cause you to be sick? Because if they told you, Israel, that this has side effects and the side effects of what it's going to cause, they'll tell you all the good things about it, but they're never going to tell you the bad things or how it might affect your body, especially if you high blood pressure, if you suffer with diabetes, if you suffer with heart failure, if you wear a pacemaker or monitoring you, if you had cancer. It's not going to tell you the side effects it's going to cause with that. And you got so many people that's running out to go get this vaccine because they seem to think it's going to help them with the COVID-19, and it's not. It's only going to cause problems. And in the end, they're going to see that the people that's telling them are right. Don't be so quick to go run out and take a vaccine that you don't know what's in it. Because it might just have more complications. It's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you. Let's continue, Israel.
When will the vaccine hit the market? Russian Deputy Prime Minister Golikova has promised to start industrial production in September. That's next month. Now, if you go by the website of the Russian State Register of Pharmaceuticals, then the vaccine is expected to appear in circulation by January 2021. Who will be the first ones to get this vaccine? Russia's health minister said that the vaccine will first be administered to risk groups like medical workers and teachers. What's the price?
Israel, if you don't even know that the Most High God of Israel, only the Creator, told us and wanted us to flee to the mountains and the desert because that's where He wants us. But think about it, Israel. If you go in there, you can't take a lot of people with you. Because if they had the vaccine already, they're going to rat you out. And they're going to tell people where you are. They're not going to be risked to wanting to be so quick to give up their cell phones or computers or tablets to live totally isolated from everybody. They're not going to want to do that. That's one. And then two, now that they're making spyware up on clothes, I mean, if they really want to know where you are to shoot you up with a vaccine, they can find you. You can't hide. There's nowhere to hide. Because your own people who you plan on going to the desert with is going to rat you out and going to tell them where you are. And you're going to be wondering who told. Because no one's going to be quick to give up their phones. You may seem to think that everybody gave it up, but no. Think about it, Israel. Nobody's going to be so quick to give up their cell phones to live totally isolated from the world. So if they want to know where you are, trust me, they can find you. You really need the Most High God of Israel's protection. You can't put your faith in people that you go to the desert with.
Of this vaccine. We do not know yet. Russia has not said anything about the price as of this evening. Now, there's a very important question that is being asked, perhaps the most important of them all. Is Russia's vaccine safe? Did Russia compromise on necessary steps in order to come up with the first COVID-19 vaccine? Let's look at what we know as of now. When did the trial for Sputnik 5 begin? June 18th. The number of volunteers? Less than 100. How did Russia develop a vaccine in less than 3 months? Did it skip some required steps? Putin says no. What about those who carried out the trials? Many.
Israel, we already know that this vaccine that they had, Bill Gates and Putin, was already set up, was already together. They just wanted to pass it through the CDC and FDA, before they were able to bring it out to the public for the public to take. I don't know if Israel, we're going to be made to take it, asked to take it, forced to take it. We don't know. One thing we do know, Israel, that if you take it voluntarily, then you're going to let the Most High God of Israel know that you love the beast, the devil, and not him. Let's continue, Israel.
In Russia do not agree that Sputnik 5 is safe. Among them is the Russian Association of Clinical Trials Organization. It told the Russian Health Ministry that the widespread use of the drug could be dangerous. Why is that? Because the trials began as late as June and less than 100 people have received the dosage. Similar sentiments are being echoed outside Russia. Anthony Fauci, America's top infectious disease expert, questioned Russia's fast-track approach. Last week he said, and I'm quoting, "I do hope the Chinese and the Russians are actually testing a vaccine before they're administering."
Now this is what I see, Israel. For this to be a science lab, and for them to claim to be promoting this vaccine, wear their mask. Because I don't see none of them with a mask on. I don't see anything with a doctor's robe on. That's all you see. And then here's the biggest devil right here. Him and Fauci. But where are their masks? Why aren't they covered down? Why don't they have coverings on them? Ain't when you could step into a lab, you're supposed to be covered down? Since you promoting a vaccine, you're supposed to be covered. Wear their gloves. Wear their masks. Since you promote masks, why can't you wear one yourself? Something to think about, Israel. And then you're going to put your faith in a vaccine with these here? Don't think so.
The vaccine to anyone. It's a legitimate concern. So is the West just questioning the vaccine because the Russians made it first? Is there merit in their doubts? Yes, there is. The World Economic Forum says that an effective vaccine takes 10 years and more than $500 million to develop. 10 years is not an option given the situation, the urgency of the situation right now. So countries have fast-tracked the process, but shortcuts are not an option either. Vaccine production has many stages. There are preclinical trials.
Now you see them covered with masks and gloves, and then these are the guinea pigs that they should be using. Not that I'm promoting for them to harm the Most High God of Israel's pets. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. I'm not for them to harm the Most High God Israel pets at all. I'm not for that. Not whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, we don't want it. But I'm quite sure the Most High God of Israel don't want it for his pets either. But they go to the extreme to make sure that they can push this vaccine to get it out. I believe if they had it their way, we all be chipped right now. Every last one of us in the city where we wouldn't have no chance of getting out. And Israel, they know this. That's why they're trying to rush it.
On animals. Then there are clinical trials in 3 phases. Phase 1, small groups of people get the dose. Phase 2, hundreds of people are given the vaccine to determine the dose. Phase 3, thousands of people are tested for any possible side effects, and then it is cleared by regulators and given for manufacturing. But the Russian vaccine, Sputnik 5, has not yet cleared stage 3, meaning it is yet to be mass tested for efficacy and safety. So how is it a legitimate vaccine? The Russians say desperate times call for desperate measures. Their experts have cleared it, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with mass production. Well, here's something else that we must understand. The race for a vaccine is not all black and white. Countries want to make a political statement. We've told you about vaccine nationalism on this show. In the Cold War, it was the race to...
Here's what I think, Israel. I think they're trying to push and promote this vaccine as quickly as possible because they know their time is up. So they want to try to rush and get it clearance from the CDC and FDA to promote this vaccine, whether it's coming from Putin or whether it's coming from Bill Gates. We all need to pray to the Most High God of Israel that he can send some blessings down to us, all of us, to where we can all get out of here. I know financially it's hard for everybody to go to the desert. I understand that. It's hard for everyone because all of us is feeling the punch with this, Israel. But maybe something that you may need to think about heading there, because it's coming and they're going to push it every single day. They're pushing it to try to get it out to us because they know their time is up and they're going to hell. They want us to go with them. And if you get the mark, you're pretty much done for. Be careful, Israel. Be real careful and mindful of what you do, because the eyes in the skies are watching you. And be careful, Israel, if you headed and your family and friends to the desert, because once again, you don't know who got what. They can tell you that they didn't get it, and just to get out with you, and then once they dare rat you out. Be very careful who you take with you. Limit your friends and your family, because your own family will rat you out as well. So long, Israel.